against Ortiz.
If Boots get hurt like he did the last time, Ortiz gonna finish him.
Wow.
So.
Okay, 2 weeks ago, I don't know if you saw this, but Conor McGregor was in our studio, and he sort of blew my mind because he said that there was an offer from Turki Al-Sheikh to have a 2-fight deal to fight you in boxing and MMA, $200 million. They called you on.
Terence Crawford has sent Jaron Boots Ennis a chilling warning, urging him to stay away from Vergil Ortiz Jr. before the knockout threat becomes reality.
10 steps behind you, right?
You gotta tighten up his defense. He gotta stop exchanging. I know he's faster than most. He's more explosive than most, but at the same time, he's shown in the past that he can get careless and that he's going out there just to fight, and I don't think when you get higher and higher, that's going to be enough.
For months, Ortiz has been accused of avoiding Ennis, but he tells a different story, insisting Boots and his team were the ones who backed out.
I don't know. That's not a question for me. That's my manager right there. That's not my job.
I don't know how much money.
The reason why I asked that is that, let's be real, the amount of money fighters make a lot of times determine if fights are gonna happen or not, right? Yeah. Because if fighters say, yo, I'm not gonna fight this guy for this much.
Yeah.
Or I need this much.
And I think it matters to a certain extent. You don't want to fight no one for free or whatever, which it's not gonna happen.
Right.
But I do think that people outprice themselves sometimes.
Yeah.
Whether it's to duck or whether they feel like they deserve more genuinely or what, I really don't know. But
yeah, because people have value. You have value. I'm worth the sun.
Ortiz says he accepted the matchup without hesitation, while Ennis's side turned it down. That is why he rejects claims that he ever avoided Boots.
Everyone.
I'll be the next one.
Yeah. Good little, transition, but he was offered. We were both offered the fight. I said yes. His side said no. I don't know who said no, but the only thing is the fight didn't happen, And it's getting real annoying that people are saying that I'm ducking because Eddie Hearn said that Boots signed to fight me. Like, where am I in that contract? Like, did I agree? Like, we have other things going on. We had already been offered to fight you, and we said yeah, and you guys said no. So now it's like, how am I the one that's ducking? Just because you said no and we moved on to different fights, now I'm the one ducking because you said no already. Like, it just doesn't make sense,
Stepping in now, Robert Garcia has revealed what could be next for Ortiz, while sending Ennis a blunt warning about the stakes surrounding money and legacy.
Well, he's already said he's more interested in Kelly and Pandora because he wants the 4 belts.
No, that's a lie, because he doesn't want to fight Vergil. He wanted to fight Vergil before. Why not anymore? Because he's the champion. He wants to unify. No, the fight against Vergil is 3 times bigger when it comes to his payday, to a meaningful fight. Nobody's gonna care because you beat Kelly or you beat Vergil. You know what I mean? A win over somebody like Vergil means a lot more than Josh Kelly.
It does, but
you know what I mean?
But if he's gonna go the Kelly route, don't you have to go after Pandora to?
Yeah, then we'll do that.
Right.
Then we'll do that. Yeah, then we'll do that. If Boots decides to go after Kelly and take advantage of that big old cut and.
Garcia is making Ortiz's intentions crystal clear. He wants a serious challenge, not a soft opponent, as he prepares to make a statement before facing Ennis.
100% agree with Vergil. I think if Vergil is able to, fight Boots and we were able to get those punches, I think it's over. I think Vergil is not going to hold back. Vergil has great, insane power at 154. So I think Vergil will finish him.
Yeah. Where does Ennis line up now in terms of, I guess, the pound for pound list and based off that performance? How good is he?
Well, look, I think I guess it depends on who you ask. Pound for pound for me is a fighter that shows great skills, obviously, against the opponents that they're beating and the way they're beating them.
Garcia backs Ortiz to stop Ennis, but Tim Bradley strongly disagrees, predicting Boots will control the fight and prove why he belongs among boxing's elite.
I went to Ortiz. we may see a completely different guy, especially if he gets touched.
Man, he gonna cook Ortiz.
Oh,
he gonna cook Ortiz just like he just got done cooking Zayas. Look, man.
But that was expected, though.
Listen to me.
You're talking about Zayas as a guy that isn't known for his punching power at all. That was
or his speed,
or
really his skills. He's like he checks boxes at a decent level, but not at an elite level.
But the thing is that he didn't feel the pop. You got to understand that about Boots. Boots is willing to take yours to get his, and it's a trap. Right? A lot of his flaws, but I'm just telling you that I know it's not always a good thing, but it works for him. And I think that he fights off of feeling. That's what it is. It's feeling. You understand that, right?
But another thing that I didn't like as well.
At the same time, Josh Kelly's trainer and manager Adam Booth has revealed that discussions with Boots Ennis are gaining momentum. The two sides appear to be getting closer to an agreement, with contract details now becoming the key focus. If everything falls into place, this developing matchup could soon be signed, sealed, and officially announced to the boxing world.
When you look at Boots Ennis, how do you see Josh beating him? Or more to the point, what weaknesses do you see that can be exploited in Jaron Ennis?
I'm not going to tell you that, Simon. Styles make fights, firstly. Boots has never boxed anyone as a professional that has the different styles that Josh has, and vice versa. Boots is long time being proven as a world champion at welterweight and now at super welterweight. Josh is a new champion who is now evolving and developing as a world champion. I see that as the most fascinating and exciting challenge for Josh and for me to prove just how far his obvious abilities.
Following Josh Kelly's victory over Bakram Murtazaliev, attention quickly shifted toward what comes next. Speaking to the media, Adam Booth revealed that Kelly is part of a multi-fight agreement with Eddie Hearn. Booth also made it clear that Jaron Ennis is one of the names on their radar, adding another major possibility to Kelly's future plans.
With Matchroom, and in that contract there are names, and Boots Ennis is one of them. And we signed that contract at a time when, let's be honest, everybody hoped that Josh would win, but nobody truly believed he was going to win. And not only has he won with class. He won with class in an amazing event, and the feedback and the backlash from Saturday night has been incredible, and it's probably been more than any of us could have hoped for. And this is a business and it's a sport, so it's time for sort of everyone to stop, look at what the best thing for everyone is.
When discussing the potential showdown, Tim Bradley offered an interesting perspective on Josh Kelly's chances. He believes Kelly's style, timing, and experience could create real difficulties for Boots Ennis inside the ring. Bradley sees Kelly as the kind of opponent who can disrupt Ennis's rhythm, force him into uncomfortable exchanges, and make the matchup far more competitive than many expect.
Is Josh Kelly. I think Josh Kelly's a little bit more difficult fight, believe it or not, than Vergil Ortiz. Styles make fights. Josh Kelly don't look like much, but he's quick. He got good reflexes. He got some pop on his shots. He's very deceiving. And he got legs. And he gonna move around all night, and Boots gonna have to chase. He gonna have to chase. And he gonna have to chase. And you know, Boots don't really like to chase. You can hear it when they talking. Well, if he's standing right there in front of me, it's gonna be night. You know, it's not gonna be a short night. They like guys that stand in front of them. Vergil Ortiz, they like guys that stand in front of them.
Breaking down the matchup, Tim Bradley believes Boots Ennis has the tools to eventually penetrate Josh Kelly's defense. However, he does not expect that success to come quickly. Bradley feels Ennis would need to stay patient, carefully create openings, and capitalize when those moments appear. In his view, Kelly's defensive skills could make the process much tougher than expected.
I think Boots will eventually catch up with him, cut him off, hurt him with a big shot, because you know, Josh Kelly isn't the most, his defense, even though he's very elusive, Boots throwing combinations, something eventually gonna crack that defense. You know, especially when guys that they just like to use the head movement and be, elusive and agile. You can let those punches fly, man, and something eventually is gonna get in there on the guy. And as long as Boots is pressing forward, cutting off the ring, right, prepare himself for boxers, he should have no problem beating Josh Kelly. However, like I said, it's gonna be a little bit more time for him to be able to get to him, judging by what I know about Boots Ennis.
Adding to the latest developments, Frank Smith says Vergil Ortiz Jr. remains Boots Ennis' preferred target, but if those talks collapse, Josh Kelly could become the next serious option. Smith sees that possibility as very realistic, meaning Kelly may not have to wait long for his opportunity. A switch in plans could set up one of the biggest fights of his career.
Now I've got 6 male world champions, so long may that continue.
100%.
What's next then? Jamie Ward said to you post-fight, he mentioned it to Josh.
Yeah.
Josh, I know you said that he's already signed for the Boots Ennis fight.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that next?
Boots is focused on the Ortiz fight, of course. But if that doesn't happen, this fight could be sure be next. This gives us options. This gives us huge options. You've got Abbas and Xander tonight as well, and that could be a massive unification.
Sean Porter and Sean Zittel have also weighed in on the potential showdown. With the matchup generating serious attention, several respected voices around boxing have now offered their predictions. Their opinions add another layer to the debate, as fans wait to discover who the experts believe would come out on top if Jaron Ennis finally shares the ring with Vergil Ortiz Jr.
Right now on paper is the favorite. He's been at 54 and all. When you look at how Madrimov's awkwardness and his movement in that fight made it hard for Ortiz to get off until later in the fight, Ennis can implement the same things but actually be hitting him while he's doing it. So
Come on, Naeem, what'd he say?
Nah, I said, what you think of? I said, what you think about Boots? He sent me the yawn emoji. I said, how?
Hey, he only goes right or left.
I said, how? And then of course he moved up to 54. Vergil gonna take him out. I said, I don't see it, but okay.
Good fight.
It's a good fight.
Great fight.
I like him.
I know who I think wins that fight, but you know.
I like him and Charlo at 154.
Responding to Tim Bradley's prediction, Robert Garcia offered a much different take on the potential clash. Garcia feels Bradley may be giving Ennis too much credit because of personal preference. In his view, Ortiz's power, relentless pressure, and attacking style could expose areas of Ennis's game that are often overlooked, especially once both men are forced into sustained exchanges.
On that, and what do you think he sees that, I don't know, maybe?
Look, Bradley's a former world champion, a great person. He knows how to speak well. He's done he commentated on fights for ESPN, and so he's got experience on everything. Maybe it's just favoritism. Maybe it's just something to do with being having a favorite fighter. It could be that. I don't know. Look, I'm not saying he's I can't say because we don't know. You're wrong or get in a fight with Timothy Bradley. Because I'm not gonna do that. He's a friend and a good person, but I think the opposite. I totally think the opposite. I think Vergil, look, do people forget that it was just last year? Early in that last year.
Garcia argues that Bradley is overlooking Ortiz's win over Israel Madrimov, the same fighter who gave Terence Crawford a demanding battle. He believes Ortiz's recent form deserves far more attention. Garcia points out that 2 of Vergil's strongest performances came last year, yet the rapid pace of boxing has caused many fans and analysts to forget just how impressive those victories were.
I totally think the opposite. I think Vergil, look, do people forget that it was just last year, early in that last year, that Vergil beat Madrimov and the way he did and the skills that he showed, a Madrimov who almost beat Crawford, and then Vergil goes out and does what he did with Madrimov. I think not only Timothy, but a lot of people might have forgot that already. And then he goes and dominates second round knocker Lubin. Man, it hasn't been not even a year since Vergil's last fight.
Meanwhile, Boots appears ready to move in another direction, with Sebastian Fundora and Josh Kelly emerging as possible next opponents. Tired of repeated questions about Ortiz, Ennis has made his priorities clear. He wants to keep chasing world titles, build his legacy, and establish himself as one of the division's most dominant fighters, rather than remain stuck in endless speculation.
I'm here to, collect these belts, and I want to be undisputed at 154, and I will be undisputed at 154. I didn't get to do it at 47, so the next best thing is Fundora or Kelly. And I feel like everybody want to see me and Fundora because he's a tall Tez.
Yeah, I love the Fundora fight. I think that's probably my favorite fight for you that's available right now. Sounds like he might be doing his mandatory next. And then, of course, we have Josh Kelly. But look, Vergil Ortiz, we know you already accepted that fight back in April, and then his court issues with Golden Boy prevented the fight from happening. Are you getting a little tired of the situation now? Because I know you're asked about it everywhere you go.
Yeah, I mean, everybody asks me about it all the time. You know, I did my part, you know.
Breaking down the potential fight, Sean Porter believes the matchup is difficult to separate on paper. He sees both fighters bringing high-level ability, different strengths, and qualities that could create problems for the other. Porter's view is that neither man has an obvious advantage going in, making this a fascinating clash where small details could ultimately decide the winner.
The analogy is like, you see, and we'll use Jamie Foxx as an example. That's my guy. So let's say Fox is one thing on screen, and then off screen, he's a completely different person. You just don't know, you know. So on screen, Boots looks like he's supposed to beat Sebastian Fundora because he's so fast, because he's so electric, because he's shown tremendous power, because he's shown so many different movements and techniques, and everything jumps off the screen when it's Boots Ennis. But then when you got, like I always like to say, another weapon standing across from you, negating some of the things you do, forcing you to turn off some of the stuff you do. Now, here's the thing that makes this guy dangerous to Boots.
Porter also sees Sebastian Fundora as a more dangerous stylistic challenge than Boots Ennis. He describes Boots as unpredictable, energetic, and difficult to figure out during a fight. Fundora, however, earns more respect from Porter for his ability to tailor his approach to each opponent. That adaptability, he believes, makes Fundora especially dangerous once the opening bell rings.
What I feel I know about Boots, I don't know if they game plan. To me, it seems like Boots is like, and Dad Bozy, we just gonna get you ready. Can't nobody beat you. Well, sometimes you gotta get ready for the guy across from you. And what I now know about this dude, he getting ready for who's across from him. And that's why I'm breathing like that, because I know without a shadow of a doubt, he's going to be ready, he's going to have the right weapons, and he's going to be calling on the right weapons all night long. I have no doubt about that from this dude right here. And I know with all 16 plus weapons that Boots got, Boots be like this.
Yeah.
You know, you got to, nah, bruh. With this one right here, it's got to be, all right, shotgun. Don't do him. All right, stab him.
Porter refuses to name a clear winner, stressing that both fighters possess unique strengths and dangerous tools. Still, he believes Fundora's adaptability could be the biggest concern for Boots. His ability to create unusual problems, make adjustments during exchanges, and change his approach under pressure could force Ennis into unfamiliar territory and turn the fight into a completely different challenge.
Need against this dude, not 16 weapons because we got 16. And to me, that's the difference between a Boots Ennis and a Sebastian Fundora. I don't know who will win that fight because all those weapons are amazing.
Yeah.
And at any point, any of those weapons could work against this dude. But this guy has the ability that I now know. He knows how to force you to turn off a lot of what you have. So I don't know. I don't know
your
who wins
point
that
about
fight.
off screen and on screen. Yeah, you'll watch it. That's what Keith did. Keith studied this dude front to back. He told us a week ago.
Yeah.
He knew everything about him.
Yeah.
But like your point, off screen and on screen. Then in person, you go, once it's fight night and he's across from you and throwing 60 punches, you go,
yeah,
that motherfucker is really tall.
Yeah.
He's really big.
And
it's different.
Adding to the debate, Bomac believes both Sebastian Fundora and Vergil Ortiz Jr. would present genuinely even matchups for Boots Ennis. He points out that every fighter has faced adversity and tasted defeat, meaning none can claim an untouchable reputation. In Bomac's eyes, that shared vulnerability makes either potential showdown extremely difficult to predict and even more intriguing for fans.
I think it's a 50-50 across the board, you know, because when you look at Vergil and when he get guys hurt, like maybe Boots was hurt, you know, he finished them off. You look at Fundora with the range and the height he got, you know, even though he'd been beat before, since then he's just been cleaning them up. And so we all waiting to see, you know, when those two or three, you know, like the four kings, when they tangle. So we, you know, as boxing fans, we just sit back and wait.
Adding more tension to the debate, Greg Hackett questioned whether Sebastian Fundora is truly prepared to face Jaron Ennis at 154 pounds. He believes the weight could become a major factor, especially against an opponent as skilled as Boots. Hackett's concern is that Fundora may struggle once the pace and pressure increase, potentially exposing weaknesses that could decide the fight.
Now that PBC is over on the zone,
yeah,
what you think of that?
I don't think it's going to happen at 154. I think it's going to happen at 60.
Why?
I don't think Fundora wants that trouble at 54. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's so sure of himself. I think it's going to take him a couple years mentally to be really sure of himself. He talk a good game. He do. When he do his interviews, he talk a hell of a game. 30 seconds, he talk a hell of a game, but I don't think this is just me off of my observation. I don't think he pleased with himself just yet to say he's going to fight Boots after this fight. I don't think so.
If Boots goes into the fight with Josh Kelly, is victorious, wouldn't that put more added pressure on Fundora?
It would, but these dudes come out with moves all the time. You see new moves every year.
Looking at the styles, Greg Hackett believes one defensive mistake could completely shift the fight. He referenced Boots Ennis getting caught in the 3rd round against Xander Zayas, warning that Fundora could punish a similar lapse. With his unusual angles, physical size, and constant pressure, Hackett feels Fundora has the tools to turn one clean connection into a major problem.
And they be working him out. Even though he tall, he be trying little shit, be doing little shit, but it's just hard to get the motherfuckers off. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like a tiger and a giraffe, one of them. Like once Boots get him, he's gonna get him.
Now you got some analysts that feel like because of the 3rd round against Xander Zayas, that if Fundora gets him in that position, then Fundora will end up hurting or stopping Boots.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I mean, that's a fight of the past at this point. That's like me saying since Mendoza clipped Fundora in the 7th round, that's like me saying Boots will do the same thing.
So, will Boots Ennis prove the doubters wrong? Or will Vergil Ortiz Jr. or Sebastian Fundora expose the weakness Garcia and others believe is hiding underneath? The stakes are rising, and one fight could change everything. Who do you think Boots should face next? Drop your prediction below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more boxing updates.